from Cebu. We're in Lanao, where we are building a house right overlooking Moboa, one of the top resort areas. And hopefully you've been watching. We're getting our finishing up the columns and making the beams for the ceiling and the second floor. So I got here this morning drove in from Borelli, which is where we're staying at my mother-in-law's house, and which we built earlier, but we did it with another contractor. And this project, the engineer and foreman are running it, and they're good friends and family members. And they're doing an amazing job. I came in this morning and was thoroughly impressed that they went above and beyond. Like the beams here, they've got steel for the frame, but also on the top, it's totally framed into the beams, so it's going to be perfectly straight. They've already got the columns like perfectly straight, and they're doing that for all the beams. Let me change the angle on this camera so I can show it a little better. See, and everything is got column straps. It's all tied for American standard for earthquakes and stuff. There's where the beam's gonna tie in right there. And yes, they do it differently here. They do the floors last, but we're actually putting floor tie beams in here underneath. They're going to be tied in with the columns, and we're going to be doing that pretty quick, and that will really secure it. Which, you know, here right now they got a lot of problems with some of these areas because it's the dry season, and a lot of the lowlands and stuff where they get a lot of water. The mud, they got mud, it's like clay mud, and it dries up in the summer and just cracks and shrinks very badly, and it'll get big cracks in it, and everything you have built on top of it will start to crack. You know, if you don't really make thick footers and you know, I think some of them they've got these thin, very 10 feet down. You got to do that because of the loose soil, the amount of water that gets in it. The soil is just so weak and it shrinks and it gets wet and it turns to mud, and if you don't have a lot of support, you know, but this land here is like solid dolomite or gesso, they call it here, and it's like you know, I said it before, it's like an old reef that came out of the ocean millions of years ago. And you can see, I mean, you have to do a lot of jackhammering to get this, get these holes. I mean, it's heavy duty and hard to here. I mean, you can see right here, this is some of it, and it's like incredibly hard, you know, but it's really hard to work when you make this foundation and the footers and your columns, but once you do, it's very stable. In an earthquake or something like that, it's going to stay secure, and it's not, you got good soil. Like I see people building their homes in lowlands, old So yes, I suggest. One thing I wanted was not to be in the lowland. I want to be somewhere where there's a solid ground. You can see right here, this is an old reef. If you pull some of it up sometimes, you'll see where, look at this, solid, like rock. It's like limestone, but it's calcium carbonate, So if we want to really plant, like I got a lot of plants here. I got some avocados there, some bananas. But you see how these coconut trees came up? That's where I'm planting stuff. There's not a lot of good soil, but I talked to the agricultural department of the Philippines, and they said just bring soil in and mound it up, and you can plant anything on top of it. Just don't really dig down in and do it because it's very alkaline. So even here, we're going to put a vapor barrier down. I have vapor barrier really thick plastic to separate the ground. I really don't need to because this absorbs water like a sponge. It just runs right through it. But we're going to put a thick vapor barrier down to keep the water away from the concrete. Everything's going good. This is going to be a 10-foot ceiling here on the first floor. And on the top, it's going to be a 9-foot ceiling and there'll be a deck right here from that column there to this column. There's going to be a big deck because we got the most incredible views of the mountains over there, all the way around to the Negros is right over here, and Mount Mobile, the beach right there. So everything's going quick. They should finish pouring these columns by tomorrow. And then, even though tomorrow's Saturday, they're going to be working all day. And then we'll do the upper tie beams. And then we're going to be putting this steel down for the second floor. And that'll be extra rigid on the second floor. So this house is going to be 112 square